Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. We had the part 2 of the Real Housewives of New Jersey reunion. We just wrapped it, and now we're going to break it on down because there are a lot of new accusations that are flying against Mr. Louie Ruelas. So hopefully you're ready to break it all on down. Let's get it. Oh, hi, it's me, Zack Peter, pop culture junkie, reality TV insider, published author, and host of the No Filter with Zack Peter podcast. Here I'll bring you all the latest news on the Real Housewives, deep dives into celebrity legal scandals, and unfiltered combos with your favorite stars. I've got you covered. And yes, I always keep receipts. So be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for all the latest tea. Now, let's dive in. And talk about Bo Deedle D and Deedle Dumber. Teresa and Louie, I think, are looking so bad at this year's reunion. I think it is just a hot mess express. So why don't we dive into it, shall we? We have one more part left. We're now into part 2 of the part 3 reunion. And Teresa has revealed that she no longer believes that Caroline Manzo is the one that turned her in. In fact, she actually believes that it was Joe and Melissa that turned her into the feds. But then she later clarifies that no, it wasn't Joe and Melissa that turned me into the feds, but it was Joe and Melissa that were talking to the guy that turned us into the feds, who happened to be Joe's business partner, Joe Giudice's former business partner. Which, like, my understanding is it was like a business partner that was upset with Joe, and he wanted to get back at Joe because he felt like Joe wasn't fully kosher in his own business practices. And so he turned on Joe and Teresa. And so Teresa's now claiming that Jacqueline Larita told her that Melissa and Joe Gorga were hanging out with that guy. And now she's mad at them. She's like, who would do that? What kind of brother would do that to his sister? And then I guess Joe is like, or well, Melissa's speaking on behalf of Joe because Joe hasn't officially come out yet. But Melissa's like, that's not true. We never spoke to to his business partner. I don't even know who his business partner is. And Teresa's like, he did it to hurt Joe Giudice, and instead it ended up hurting me and ended up putting me in prison. Even though she backtracks, is like, no, you guys didn't put me in prison. And then Andy even clarifies, like, Teresa, your husband's the one that put you in prison. And she's like, well, no, yeah, but still, my brother too. And it's like, well, what did your brother actually do? Because I'm still confused about the whole situation. I don't get why she's like dragging on about this whole thing. Hi, Susan. Hi, Lucia. Hi, Aaron. Hi, Janice. Hi, Moose. Hi, Patty. Hi, Winter Tarzan. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Let's get it, get it, get it. Okay. So we get into that. Then Melissa reveals text messages from Jacqueline that she sent to Jackie Goldschneider, and they basically trash Teresa, right? And then there were some new messages that come out that also trash Dolores, saying that Dolores talks or used to talk a lot of smack behind Teresa's back, and she would never say that to Teresa's face. And Dolores is such a child, and blah blah blah. She's like unleashing on Jackie. Now, some people are like, ooh, that seems strategic. And I can't believe she's now sending this all to Jackie, even though she's made up with Teresa. These text messages were apparently from back in 2021 when Jacqueline and Teresa were still on the outs. And it seemed like Jacqueline was also a little upset with Dolores for, I don't know what she was upset with Dolores for, to be honest. But I guess for like staying on the show and not being her friend afterwards, because Dolores was her friend. And then it seemed like Dolores kind of moved on from Jacqueline, even though it seemed like Dolores and Siggy were the two that came on the show because of Jacqueline. And then obviously Siggy was cut and Dolores continued to stand by Teresa, even though it seems like there was a little bit of tension later in the episode. Between Teresa and Dolores about the rumor about Melissa. But we'll get into that later. Anyway, the text messages come out. The text messages are pretty scathing. Like, she makes a lot of digs at Teresa. You know, she clearly says that Dolores is not loyal, and Dolores seems to be a liar, is basically what she was alluding to, and that Dolores is really just afraid of Teresa, and that's why she's not coming after Teresa. Now, these text messages came out back in 2021. That's when I had Jacqueline on my show, and I had her on, and she was talking about how she felt bad for Jackie, and she felt like it sucked the way that Teresa was treating Jackie. So, you know, it's a little unfortunate. I don't love how things are kind of being twisted and turned a bit. Because it seems like those text messages are a little more recent, and it seems like, we also don't know the context of how Jackie and Jacqueline actually connected, and I'm pretty sure Jacqueline and Jackie exchanged, some of the same feelings. Because when Jacqueline was on my show, she said, like, she felt bad for Jackie and how Teresa basically outed the Evan rumors and the cheating rumor, which Jackie still is adamant is not true. So they kind of hash that out. Melissa and Teresa like continue to go back and forth at each other, not letting each other get a word in. Laura says, I think Jacqueline is looking for a legacy invite. She's trying to get into the mix to get noticed. I don't think legacy or ultimate girls trip were really a thing back then, right? Wasn't there like a rumor of ultimate girls trip and it was like an all-stars show? This is back in 2021. I think she was really just like leaning on, would be nice if Andy had Jacqueline on the show to find out the tea. I'm sure he will. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know what I don't know what she is doing now. We haven't heard from her since these text messages came out or since she was brought up at the reunion. Um, yes, did wrong sometimes, and you have friends. And when the shit hits the fan, you truly know you're a friend and sad to see friends and family. My partner of 23 years blessed. Okay, thank you, Moose, for sharing that. Okay, so then we wrap that up, and it really goes nowhere because Melissa and Teresa can't really seem to get on the same track. I feel like Melissa was just taking digs at Teresa, and Teresa was just being, like, irrational and kinda nasty the entire time with no real arguments and no real merit to what her points actually were in all of this. Then we get to Jen Fessler and Jen Fessler's new face, and Jackie comes out. And Jen Fessler, not that's not a dig at Jen Fessler's new face. I happen to like Jen Fessler's new face. Jen Fessler looks incredible. Her new face looks popping. I'm like, get a girl, get a girl to the front, to the right, to the back, girl. It's your night. I know he thinks you're fun and stuff, but does he know how to wind you up? Mm-mm-mm. I think Jen Fessler looks incredible and good for her and the doctor that hooked her up because she's looking spicy. And then Jackie talks about Ozempic because Jen Fessler's like, I'm on Ozempic. And Jackie's like, yeah, but when people get off Ozempic, that's when all the weight's going to come back. And then people are going to be addicted to weight loss. I actually agree with Jackie. As somebody that has struggled with an eating or with eating disorders in the past for most of my life, actually, I empathize with Jackie and I see her point. And I see that um, she's afraid of what a slippery slope this can be. Ozempic seems to be great and people seem to be loving it. And listen, if you want to do Ozempic, great. But I do understand the slippery slope that it does bring because people are using it as a quick fix. And when you get off Ozempic, you do gain all of the weight back and you can gain it back very rapidly. But it's the same thing like any diet, or any fad diet. The yo-yo ride is always going to be the same. And so unless you are consistent with, staying active and eating healthy and all of that stuff, your body will naturally continue to put on weight if you're eating junk food and staying inactive, or if your hormones are off balance or whatever the case may be, unless you address whatever the root issues are, you're always going to be on that hamster wheel. And so this is just a temporary fix. I'm on Ozempic for diabetes. It's amazing for diabetes. I mean, yeah, and some people use it for diabetes. That's, I think, what it was primarily created for. Now it's just become a fat loss trend. And there are a lot of different variations of it. We don't know the long-term effects of these things, so I just think we have to tread lightly, but, like, I'm not knocking anybody that wants to get on Ozempic and wants to live that life. You do you. I'm not knocking anybody that wants to go keto or paleo or vegan or whatever. Listen, just because it may not work for me doesn't mean it's not gonna work for you, and you live your life. You do you. Okay. Being diabetic, you have to be careful all the time. Very true, Dana. Very, very true. Okay, so then we see a bit of the husbands, and we see Joe Gorga, and they're all taking shots, and we see Louie, and he's, ready for this, and Andy warns them, like, let's not, you know, let's be careful. Let's not get into any fights. We hear a bit about the fallout with Frankie and Louie, and it basically is about Frankie was working for Louis or was supposed to be working for his company, and then all of a sudden the company shut down and Louis kind of ghosted him. So to me, I was like, okay, that doesn't sound as bad as it seemed to be originally. I don't think it was that I get Frank's position, but I'm also like, okay, but like that happens. Like companies shut down, people move on, people get ghosted. Like it's kind of just the name of the game. And like Frankie's okay right now, isn't he? So I that's one thing that I'm like, okay, maybe it was a bit of a dick move for Louie not to notify Frankie what the situation was or why they were closing down or whatever the case may be. However, I don't know. Campfire has 4-day wait for subs. Oh, hell no. What do you mean 4-day wait for subs? I don't know what that means, Kane. But shout out to Campfire. Woo woo. Um, so yeah, we get context into the Frankie thing and the Louis thing and why Big Frank is upset with him. Dolores doesn't really want to get into it. And I feel like it's not anything really worth getting into, right? Then we get into the Melissa rumor and basically about Danielle getting set up. And at first, she doesn't admit that she got set up because they're like, we find out that Jennifer had already told Melissa about the rumor, and Melissa had already heard about the rumor before Jennifer from Joe Gorga, who says that Louie and Teresa came to him privately and sat him down about the rumor. And I guess this is a question for the live chat or for anybody watching in the replay crew. Was it wrong of Teresa and Louie to call Joe over by himself? Was it because, like, think about it. If that is your brother. You are looking out for him. You wanna be like, "Hey, there is a cheating rumor." But then at the same time, I feel like Melissa's been in the family for a really long time that, like, there is the respect of being like, "Hey, if we don't believe this," which is what Louis and Teresa were claiming, "Hey, we don't believe this." If that were true and they didn't really believe it, they wouldn't have called Joe over alone. So my thought is they wanted Joe to leave Melissa, and that's why they really called him over with this rumor that they're now saying they never believed was true, when it sounds like actually maybe they did believe that it was true, and they thought that this was the smoking gun that was going to get Joe Gorga to leave Melissa. And unfortunately, that didn't work. It ended up backfiring. But now we see that there's all this other history, right? There's that, there's the pizza oven, there's all this shit that keeps building up that's drifting Teresa and Joe further and further apart. And I think there's a really good point that the husbands make when they're like, well, what's different? What was it? It was Margaret's husband. He's like, "What's different between the fights before and the fights now?" And they're like, "Louie's the difference." And I think it's possible that Louie may be the reason this fight has gotten deeper and darker. I think it was all eventually going to come to a head at some point, but I feel like they were trying their best to play nicely. Joe and Melissa were trying to play nicely with Teresa. I think even Teresa, wanted to play nicely with them, and then Louie comes in, and I feel like it just completely shifted it and turned everything upside down. Russ says Teresa should have either gone to Melissa or Joe. Louis did not need to get involved. I agree. Louis did not need to get involved. But here's the thing, Teresa says that they didn't believe the rumor. They were just letting him know that the rumor was out there. So if that's the case, then why would you pull him aside privately, Joe Gorga? Why would you pull him aside privately? And why even go there? So for me, that's where I don't believe that they didn't believe the rumor. I think they did believe the rumor, and I think they were trying to get Joe to see that Melissa's an evil cheater and that we need to be done with her. Because at this point, it doesn't seem like they were doing them a solid. But not only that, then we get to the Danielle side of it, and Danielle's like, I was doing a solid by trying to let Melissa know that this rumor was out there. She, I think, believes she was doing a good thing by trying to let Melissa know and give her a heads up that this was being spoken about on camera without realizing that Jennifer had already spoken to her about this on cam or not on camera, but off camera. And now Jennifer was bringing it up on camera in front of Jackie. And now Jackie was aware and felt an obligation to go to the finale and deliver the news there. And Danielle's like, well, I thought that this would be an opportunity for Melissa to deny the rumor and to squash it. And even Jen Fester's like, well, why would you even bring this up at the finale at all? And she's like, I thought it would be an opportunity. I didn't realize it was going to get this bad. I thought this would be Melissa's opportunity to shut down the rumor. I do think they set up Danielle. I think Jennifer set up Danielle to stay in Teresa's good graces and to make Melissa look bad. I think Jennifer wanted this brought up on the show. She wanted this to be talked about. Danielle happened to wait all the way until the finale to bring it up, but it was a big drag out wait. The reveal finally comes, and Melissa's like, it's not true. And now I get why Melissa and Joe are like, wait, you'll hear the full side of the story once it actually airs. Now I feel like we've heard more sides of the story now that it's actually aired. And I feel like it's just dumb at this point. Joe and Melissa are too far into each other for either of them to cheat on the other. I mean, yeah, I think that they still have a lot of love in their relationship. When I first saw Rachel Fuda on the show, I was shocked by her nose. Oh yeah, then we get into the nose conversation, and Fuda was like, you know, Jennifer went to my doctor to get her nose fixed, and then Jennifer's like, no, I didn't go to your doctor. I wasn't trying to get my nose fixed. My jacked up nose is just fine by me, and my husband loves it because he still doesn't sleep with me. So I hate that now I'm kind of like not the biggest fan of Jennifer when I used to love Jennifer at the beginning. 'Cause now I'm just like, "Ooh." Hi, Zach. Next week is a good week because of the live show. Wink with a broken shoulder. I need it from Norway. Oh, hi. Hi, Eric. Eric H. Hello. Thank you for coming on in. Yes, next week is the big live show. So if you want to join, if you're not local in LA, you can still get your live stream tickets at nofilterlive.com and catch my big live show with Lala Kent at the Bourbon Room in Hollywood next week, June 15th. Get your live stream tickets or get your last minute tickets at nofilterlive.com. Nofilterlive.com. Okay. Where were we? Okay, then we get into the threats from Louie, right? Because Margaret and Fuda reveal that they've received threats from Louie. Louie apparently contacted the birth mother of Rachel's now adopted son, who she shares with her husband. He, for some reason, inserted himself into that. Probably wanted the mother to either try to fight for her son or I don't know. The whole thing's fishy, right? But then we get into Margaret, who even pulls out the phone records and she's like, Louie called my son at work, which is a landline. It's a private location, private number that you really wouldn't know about how to reach him unless you did a little bit of digging, probably more than just some internet sleuth. But so I guess well, yeah, so they try to bring up how there are not burner what was the term they used for it? But not burner numbers, but fake numbers, right? How you can basically call someone from somebody else's number and it's a spoof call, right? And they claim that they've all been spoofed and they've all dealt with this before. Andy's even dealt with it before, getting calls from people, but usually these other people don't answer. Well, Margaret's claiming, and the phone records would show this, right? Because the phone records would show how long a phone call took place. And it shows that Louie called her son at work and threatened him. She didn't necessarily get into the details of the threats or what he actually said, but the fact that he even called her son to begin with, and the fact that Rachel Fuda is also claiming that he called the birth mother of her adopted son, sorry, that to me, major red flag and creepy. And Teresa's like, no, he didn't. And she's like, and if he did, ask him. When he comes out here, ask him. And Margaret's like, I don't have to ask him because the phone records here prove that he actually did. Jess says, what does Louis have to do? Why does Louis have to do these creepy things all the time? Spoofing. Yes, yes, yes. I eventually caught the word. Thank you guys. Louis is a box of crazy, but fun. Is he fun? I think he's a box of crazy, and I don't know if it's fun. Disgusting. He's a loony. It's just creepy all around. Like, why are you calling people's kids? Why are you getting involved in their relationships with their kids? Because this is Rachel's son and this is Margaret's son. These are two of their children. Yes, one's an adult. And that's different from one being a minor, but still, the fact that you're getting involved in this is creepy and it's weird. And it looks like it's only going to get worse once Louis actually comes up next week and actually shows up at the reunion. But not only that, but since part 2 of the reunion has aired, now Louis' ex-fiance is coming out and claiming that he hired a spy to spy on her or to stalk her. So his fiance's name is Vanessa. She works as a therapist, and she claims that Louis hired a fake client to visit her and then ask her all sorts of inappropriate questions about Louis. At first, she thought it was like relatively innocuous. And she felt like maybe this woman was just like asking these questions to relate to her, but she says that this woman, or she claims in her new she filed a restraining order against him, and in the restraining order she claims that this woman would ask if Vanessa is still in love with Louis, and that if Louis were to ever leave his current wife, who happens to be Teresa, would she go back to him? So it's all sort of like personal relationship or personal questions about their relationship and whether or not Louis or whether or not she would still be into Louis, which to me kind of tells me that he just wanted to get off on knowing that Vanessa still wanted him. I think his ego, his man ego, was getting so turned on by the fact that he would know that Vanessa was being spied on, that he was able to still keep tabs on her, and 2, he would be able to, like, feel validated that she would still want him. It doesn't sound like she did still want him, but that's weird. So and people are like, "Well, how do you know that he actually hired this woman?" Right? How do you know that this person, this patient wasn't just a creepy fan of the show that wanted dirty details on her relationship with Louis? Well, Vanessa later found out that the patient was not real and was using a fake name the entire time. Not only that, but then when they dug deeper, they found out that this woman also happened to be employed by Bo Deedle. Remember Bo Deedle from the finale when he's like, Bo Deedle has dirt on everybody. And so Vanessa previously claimed that Louis, was a narcissist and he was abusive towards her and that he would punish her if she didn't meet his sexual needs. What all of that means, I don't know. That's all very vague language, but it doesn't sound good, and the more we learn about him, the worse it seems to get for him. But now we have Bo Deedle, and Bo Deedle has come out, and he's claiming that he was never hired by Louis Ruelas to do any backgrounds on the current cast members of Real Houses of New Jersey. And he says, as far as whether he hired us for potential private investigations, that's confidential, which means yes, he did. And if you think about this, a background check is what? A criminal record, a driving record, a credit report, just more of like what's available publicly, kind of just culminated together. However, I think what could have been, and this is why he says if they were hired for potential investigations, that's confidential. It could have been where Louis went to Bo Deedle and was like, "Hey, I heard this about this cast member. Can you follow this lead? Can you dig into this further?" Where it was maybe something a little more specific or something a little more recent, or even just can you dig up some dirt, right? Rather than doing a formal background check, which I feel like private investigators do we hire them to do formal background checks? I feel like you can go on the internet and do a formal background check. And there are agencies and services that can give you a background check, which again is really just like financial records, whatever records can be accessed publicly for the most part. It doesn't have to be like an actual investigation. So I think he probably wanted Bo Deedle to dig up dirt on these ladies and people related to them. And that's how he was able to get away with it. Remember when he said, let's play? Yeah, it was creepy. He's creepy. I think he's like really creepy. Which son did they threaten? So we don't actually get any clarity on which son was threatened or why they were threatened or what the threats actually were. Colleen, I'll be ordering takeout, but I have my buzz balls. I can't wait. Bravo is my guilty pleasure. Can't wait for BravoCon. Woo woo. Um, wait, what do you think Louis meant by saying "let's play"? What do I think he meant? Probably as in like you come for me, I'll come for you. You want to dig up some dirt on me, I'll dig up some dirt on you. I think he's shady. I think he's creepy, and I don't trust him. It's called Google. Yeah, Google. You can do certain things on Google, but I feel like the level, like digging up where Margaret's son worked and then calling him and threatening him, like that's a little bit much, right? And again, she has the phone records to prove it. I believe it. Louis must have dirt on people. I believe he does have dirt on people, but you only dig up dirt like that on people if you're trying to prevent your own dirt from coming out. You're trying to cover your own ass and protect yourself. Therefore, you're digging up dirt on other people. That way, you have that in your arsenal to be able to weaponize against them should you ever need to come after them and shut them down. Oh my God, Teresa's gonna expose Joe Gorga's shady contracting business next week. Here's the thing, Kane. If Joe Gorga's business was that shady, there would be actual lawsuits that were filed and were successful. If there was the same thing with everybody's like Erica Jane, she knew, she knew, she knew, she's guilty, she's guilty, she's guilty. If there was actual evidence and proof aside from rumors and speculation, there would be actual basis to it. Jen Shaw is in prison because she broke the law. Teresa Giudice went to prison because she broke the law. They have documents, they have statements in court, like they have everything that they needed to actually form, an actual judgment against these individuals. There hasn't been a real judgment against Joe Gorga other than people that have claimed that he's stolen their work or people that have claimed that they haven't gotten paid from. And that's not to say that maybe those aren't true, but they just have yet to be substantiated. All construction businesses are a tad shady. I mean, I think if you look at any business in any industry, there's going to be a bit of some shadiness going on, whether somebody's cheating on the books or somebody's, banging their secretary. Like there's shadiness going on around everywhere. That's the world that we're in. Not everything is going to be, gumballs and lollipops and fairies and butterflies. That's just the world you live in. Teresa's so stupid. Can't even articulate a sentence. I love when Melissa told her, "Namaste on my ass." Right? Your skin is looking so radiant. Thank you. Actually, so let me give you guys a little insider stuff. So I just got my Botox and filler touched up. It's still settling, so it'll like fully settle over the next week. I got it done on Monday. But the reason under my eye, so I got my under eye filler and then Botox. But the reason that my under eyes look a little extra white today is because I had to pack on some color corrective concealer because when you get injections, sometimes you can bruise, and normally I don't bruise, so I didn't think that I was going to bruise. So normally when they're like, "Don't drink alcohol, don't drink too much caffeine, make sure you drink lots of water, start taking arnica pills," blah 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 blah. I didn't listen because I was traveling. I was coming back from Chicago, and so I was drinking a lot. And then I had a Bloody Mary, and then I was like, "Oh, I'll just go and get my injections, and I'll be fine. I never bruise." Well, of course, after a week of travel, and my body being a little dehydrated, and then drinking alcohol, and then I love me some coffee. I did bruise a little bit, so I have a pretty gnarly bruise right here that you can't even see thanks to a little color correction. So, there you go. My doctor won't do my under eyes. He said it's dangerous. I want it. Filler hurts so bad. My filler doesn't hurt. I have never had, I mean, other than like the poke that when it goes into you, that little pinch at first, my filler doesn't hurt. Um, I mean, that's why you need to go to like a skilled surgeon. Some people, I think you can get good under eye filler. Um, Obviously, you have to do your due diligence, but the woman that I went to also specializes in optometry, so around the eyes is kind of her specialty. Peppermint tea bags and cucumber slices help my face fresh. Help keep my face fresh. Good, great. I think I'll have to try that. I'm eating lots of blueberries for the antioxidants. Drinking lots and lots of water. Cutting back on coffee. Not drinking alcohol between now and June 15th, which is my 30th birthday. The Big Dirty 30 show. Lots of arnica pills, topical arnica. I mean, if I showed you the bruise, where's my phone at? I should show, hold on, let me get my phone because I want to show you guys the bruise because it's actually kind of gnarly. And you're going to be like, what? That's what you actually look like under all that under eye concealer? Um, pelid, Palexiderm. You look too young for Botox, so you look too young for Botox, so just be working. I don't know what that means. Antioxidants, yes. Hold on. I just want to show you the photo of what I actually look like, and you're gonna be like, "What? That's under your face right now?" Look at how gnarly that bruise is. Look at the magic of makeup. Like, just look at that. So yeah, by next week it should clear up though. So I'll be ready and fresh. And if not, then boom. Jackie packed on the pounds. I don't think she packed on the pounds a lot. I think Jackie looks great. You should have just said you were in a fight the other day and the other guy looks worse. I mean, listen, I tried to tell my friend Sabrina, I sent her the picture, and she was like, at first I was like, who did you get in a fight with? Then she's like, no, that has to be Botox. Ouch. It doesn't hurt though. That's the thing. It doesn't hurt. I guess I'm old fashioned. I exercise and starve to keep in shape. I mean, you can exercise and just eat right. You don't even have to starve. You just have to eat right. Jackie looks amazing. Jackie looks really, yeah, I think, oh my God, you're amazing with makeup. I mean, I just feel like my under eyes look a little too white, but again, it's just because there was a lot of color correction that needed to happen to balance out all the other stuff. But yeah, there you go. That's what I looked like this morning, and this is what I look like now. The swelling has gone down, which I'm really happy about. You went to the New Jersey reunion, and that's what happened. Yeah, there we go. No, well, actually, I was just telling people that Sheena Shea punched me. punched by Sheena Shea. It wasn't Jen Shaw, it was Sheena Shea. I should actually send her that picture and be like, "I'm just gonna tell people you punched me." And be like, okay. Jackie's much skinnier in person, but she looks good, I think. Yeah, I mean, think about it. The camera really does add 10 pounds. I can confirm that if you're on camera. It really does add 10 pounds. Listen, she's happy, and I think that's the important thing. She said that she gained a lot of weight originally when she was on her new diet plan. And I know this stuff because I remember when I was in treatment for my eating disorder, and I remember seeing other people in the diet plans and how some people would gain weight really fast. It's just then sometimes you gain too much and it happens too fast, and then you have to kind of balance it back out. So yeah. Cause I'm TNT. I'm dynamite. But I think Jackie looks great. I didn't love that haircut on her. I think I'd like her better with longer hair. That hairstyle just didn't really work for me. It was like a little Oompa Loompa vibe with the little flaps at the bottom with the little wings. Jen Fester looked incredible though. I think Jen Fester won the reunion looks. Margaret looks great. Like even the people that hate Margaret, like you can't deny her hair, the color was incredible. It looked so great with that blue on her skin tone. Like she looked incredible. Teresa looked great too. Melissa looked great. Even though in the photos I didn't love the hood, I actually liked it in the end. I think they all really brought it. Jennifer's looked pretty on par with what she's always done. Dolores looked nice. I think she really looked great. It was a little more underwhelming on camera than it was in the photos. I will say that. It looked great, but it just had much more of a wow factor when it was on the photo rather than on the actual reunion. So, yeah, Marge needs darker hair to look younger. I don't think she's trying to look younger. I think I think I might have to go back to dark hair now that I'm trying to look younger. Because now I'm turning 30 next week. The dirty 30. Hey. Look at that. Got my face fresh. Got my teeth getting fresh. Gonna get a fresh bleach on Monday. Gonna get my spray tan next week and get my brows touched up this weekend. I'm gonna be a brand new bitch come 30. um, it's about how you feel. You can tell someone until they're blue in the face that they look amazing, but they always see something else. Exactly. Exactly. Your brows are gorgeous. Thank you. Shout out to Marco at EcoBrow. Got my Invisalign. I cannot wait till I'm done with my Invisalign. Cannot wait. And then I think I might get veneers. I think I'm just gonna go full veneers and nose job next year. I'm becoming a whole new person. What has the internet done to me? Hit the like. Yes. Hit the like now. Come on. Like it up. Light it up. Hit the like button. Woo, woo. Yes, guys. If you're watching this live in the live chat, hit the like button. Dirty 30. Who's coming next week to the Dirty 30 show? June 15th. Lala Kent. Woo, woo. Woo, woo. I'm so stressed about it. I'm losing my mind. Oh my God, your teeth are beautiful. I don't know. I think I want them to be more beautiful though. We're fixing these. We're straightening these out. And I'm like, straightening out the bottom teeth. Trust me, the internet's dragged me enough for my fucked up teeth, but they will eventually be less fucked up. They'll be straight by next year going into 2025. No, wait, 2024, because this is 2023. Sorry, I don't know what year it is anymore. So my 30s, I'm gonna be like hot as fuck. I'm gonna be ready for it. Let's get it, get it, get it. Ow, ow. Throw them hips, girl. Bum 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 bum. Let's get it, get it, get it. Ow, ow. Throw them hips, girl. Okay, I think that's all I got for you guys. That's my Jersey recap. We'll recap Vanderpump Rules tomorrow night on our regular Thursday night live. Get ready. I'm doing Invisalign. Woo, woo, Colleen, you're gonna like it. You're gonna get so used to it, and it's gonna fly by. I am happy for you. I'm so happy that I did it. I wanted to do Invisalign for so many years, and then finally, a casting producer told me to fix my fucking teeth. He told me to fix my teeth and fix my nose. And I was like, okay, this is the push that I needed. If you are telling me I will thrive with new teeth and a new nose, then I'm gonna wait on the nose. I kind of like my nose. I feel like it gives me character. But I will definitely eventually I'll get a new nose just to kind of like smooth out the bump in my nose. I don't need like a full Jennifer Aiden nose. I'm not gonna go crazy with that, but just look. Oh my God, Tamara returning. I'm excited. Oh yeah, guys, on Real Housewives of Orange County. So Fridays on Morally Corrupt, me and Rachel Lindsay are gonna be recapping Real Housewives of Orange County. So if you are already subscribed to the Ringer Reality TV podcast, then you can look forward to those recaps that'll be coming out. Your nose is perfect. What am I not seeing? I have a honker. Look at that. What's that? I have my father's nose. So, yeah. Just want to smooth it out. I can't decide if Melissa's nose job is good or bad. I think Melissa's nose job is great. She looks incredible. I fixed my nose 5 years ago. Now teeth. Woo woo. Go get it, Colleen. Get it. Get it. Get it. You don't need to. You are handsome AF. Thank you, Sandra. I love that validation. See, the industry will beat you down until you look like a Barbie doll. I can't decide. Yeah, Melissa's nose job I think looks great. What time? Our regular time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific. 8:30 Eastern is when we normally do our Thursday Night Live. So we will stick to that for tomorrow. Vanderpump Rules and Orange County. Oh my God, I'm gonna pee. I'm so psyched. I know. I'm excited for Tamara to be back. I think this is good. I think Tamara and Heather Dubrow are the queens of the OC. Or is it? Or do you guys think Shannon Bedore? I don't think Shannon Bedore. I think it's what's her face. Tamara and Heather Dubrow are the queens of OC. So that's all I got for you. All right, guys. I love you. I appreciate you. Some of the taglines suck. I agree, Russ. I'll break them down in tomorrow's live. Thursday Night Live, we'll do Vanderpump Rules and like a news recap of any other juicy headlines that have come out. So stay tuned for that. This was really just supposed to be the Jersey recap. But reminder to get your tickets at nofilterlive.com. You can get your tickets to my live show next Thursday night. We have a couple of VIP. And I think we added a couple more, like a handful more of Ultra VIP tickets. So if you want to join Ultra VIP, you get the full VIP access for the Thursday night show and VIP access for my private brunch the next morning on Friday, since it's my birthday. My birthday's Thursday night, but we're going to have a hangover brunch the next day. So you can get your Ultra VIP tickets, and the ticket gets you access to both Thursday night and Friday brunch. So it's going to be fun. Lots of goodies, good times. All right, guys, I love you. I appreciate you. I will talk to you soon. As always, you can give me a follow at Just Plain Zack all over the internet. If you have any tips for healing my black eye sooner. See, you can't even really tell that I have a gnarly black eye under this. Yeah, give me a follow at Just Plain Zack. Follow the podcast at No Filter with Zack. Get your tickets to No Filter Night Out. June 15th at the Bourbon Room in Hollywood. July 26th at City Winery NYC. So if you're on the East Coast, there you go. Get your tickets to NYC right now. NoFilterLive.com. Or live stream tickets are available for the June 15th show, not for the New York show. You can only stream the LA show, not the New York show. All right, guys. I love you. I appreciate you. Liddy City Titty. All right. I will talk to you later. Ciao for now. Good night. Bye, 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 bye.